Good morning, students.
Good morning, ma'am.
How are you?
Fine, ma'am.
Okay, you tell about yourself
This
first.
is Madhu from Standard 10B.
Okay, what about you?
My name is Kushagra. I am from Standard 10B.
Okay, Madhu, you tell me, what is your aim in life?
My aim in life is to be a neurologist.
Neurologist. Okay, then why do you want only to be neurologist?
Actually, my parents want me to be a doctor, and I think I have even interest in science, so just that's reason.
Okay, so how will you, what do you feel about it? That how can you help your country in this regard and your society?
Being a doctor is a great deal. First, I just need to practice hard or work hard to be a doctor, and just have a good job. Then I will think about helping the poor and needies. I would like to set up my clinic or something like that in village only, because I think the facilities are very less over there.
So this is a novel cause. Okay. Okay, Kushal, you tell me what is your hobby?
Ma'am, I like reading novels, English novels. One of the favorite author is L.J. Smith, because my interest is in the mysterious and adventurous fictions. And one of his book, Vampire Diaries, I like it very much. Because it is based on the story of vampires and supernaturals, and it is based on the problems that teenagers face nowadays.
Okay, good. So you keep on reading. It's a regular thing. Okay, then what do you think about your learning outcome? How it is going to help in long run?
Ma'am, actually this story is based on the problem that we people face in daily lives. So in future, maybe to evaluate some problems, and it will be really helpful to me.
Okay, according to you, reading is a very good habit. And do you encourage your friends also regarding this?
Yes, ma'am, I keep on telling the stories, the novels that I read, and we used to share the novels even. That one I bought, and then we exchange the novels.
They like it very much.
Yes, ma'am.
And do you feel that they are encouraged to read the books?
Yes, ma'am, I really feel that.
Many times. Then it means you are doing a good job for your friends. Okay, that's nice meeting you, and all of you know me very well. I am Leena Chakral, and today I am going to take your assessment for speaking. So here we have two tasks that you have to complete. First, you have certain topics with you. These are the topics. What you have to do, you have to choose one of the topic that you can have one topic of your choice, and then what you have to do, you are to jot down points. You will be given 1 minute time for this, and you have to jot down points related to your speech, and after that you will speak for 2 minutes, one of you, and there will be cross questioning also. So here you have this piece of paper, you can note down your points on it. Are you ready for it? So you read your topic and prepare it. Okay, students, have you jotted down the points?
Yes.
Okay, are you ready? So okay, first of all we start with Madhu. Okay, Madhu, what you want to say?
Today, I would like to share my views with you on India's unity in diversity is just a myth. In today's India, unity in diversity is found nowhere. It exists only in words. If we look around us, then there's no unity, it's just diversity. If you look at India geographically, then there is diversity from different regions, in different regions. We can see different landscapes, different landforms, from the cold, snow-covered regions to the hot deserts, from the flat plains to the highest peaks and whatnot. There is diversity in our traditions, manners and habits, but this leads to communal violence and hatred. Riots between people of different regions frequently occurs. Is this the reality of our India? A single individual is being discriminated on some or the other basis. That he is from different state, from different religion, speaks different language and different this. So I think the reality is that wherever we go in India, we just face the discrimination by people. Not only in the citizens, but we can't see political unity in our India. The politicians, they just make the use of people. No matter how their actions would affect the people, they are just interested in securing their votes. And we are even economically discriminated, as some are too rich and others are much too poor. The rich and powerful have always their way with the law, and the poor, they are always the victim. So what else can one provide to prove that India's unity in diversity is just a myth? In the end, I would just like to say that although we are Indians, but we don't survive in India because we are always strangers. So where's the elusive unity in diversity we talk about? Thank you.
Your question?
Yes, now what you are talking about, that's of early stage. Earlier, some years before, it used to be happened, but now I really think that things are changing and there are improvement.
Actually, it is not because we just see the average. If we look at the whole country, I think there is difference, but not that what we expected from the people. If you just go in the rural areas, for example, you can see that people are discriminated that he's from that caste and he's from that caste. Even in the school, some students used to say that I'm not gonna talk with that, or he's rich or poor or something. You can see that it's still there.
How can the change be brought over there?
I think the citizens, they must cooperate with the government because it's not the government's fault. They have enacted the rules and all there. There are some norms which are given by the government to, I think, encourage the national integration. But still, I think the citizens are the only one who need to perform their duties.
Good. Now, Kushal, your speech.
My topic is the importance of the two most powerful tools, that is computer and internet. Charles Babbage, one of the most popular and very helpful inventor, he gave us a blessing, computer. And with that help of the computer, man is benefited in all the phases of life. Computer has performed many things for the welfare of humans. But this was not the starting and not the end, because later on internet was invented and the combination of internet and computer, this gives supreme power to the persons and nations. And nowadays we can see that we can't even survive one day without computer and internet. And the proof and evidence to this is that 87.4% of US's total population, it uses computer and internet on a daily basis. This shows it's important. And not only in that, we can also say that in computers are used in schools, colleges, etc. In our administrative jobs and defense departments, etc. Computer and internet are used. But I think that every positive thing has its own negative points. Same, internet and computer has its own disadvantages. It causes problems, many situations like recession, weakening of economy. What are the main reasons of it? I really think that computer and internet, this is causing all unemployment, and not only this, world war situations are caused. With computers are nowadays used as remotes to access weapons. This is, I think so, this must be stopped, and positive use should be there. So I would like to conclude that this thing should be stopped, because we have enough to satisfy our need, but not to satisfy our need.
Your question?
I think one of the positive effects of using this computer is that one gets ideas from it. But I think getting these ideas are just this discourages about one's creativity. So what you can do to that the students can utilize their own creativity, their own ideas to develop.
I think so, you are right, but I will contradict this, because you can see that there are some things which you can't do yourself. It's just a helping. If you have self-control on yourself, then you can stop yourself from doing this. Take help, but your own creativity, that is also important. But yes, it's helping, so we can't say that it is wrong.
See, there are books and teachers also to provide us information knowledge about things. So
See, this is not only the point. We have to take care of everything, because there are some things that we people don't know, and if internet provide us and connect us with every place in the world, then what's the bad point about it?
Now that's all with the second round. Now we come to the third task. So here is a prompt. So you have to read it and you have to discuss it with each other after reading it. The possible things that you can discuss related to it. This is, some students are having a fight in the playground. With your friends, discuss what could be done to pacify them. How can you persuade them to be more tolerant to each other?
I would like to give my point that
You have to discuss it with each other. You can discuss the point. Discussion.
I think at the meantime we just should discourage the students from fighting. At that time the others could go and call the teacher, but that's not the solution. We need to think something to prevent them fighting in the absence of teachers.
if the students themselves have unity, then I think so they don't even would fight, and fights are caused due to misunderstandings. If we give our time to the things that we think that these are misunderstandings, then this can be solved. And not only this, PTRs are there on every floors and everywhere in the playgrounds, etc. So nowadays, I think so these are a bit less.
The students who fight, I think they are not that mature to understand that these are misunderstanding or what. They are kids, so I think it's just the moral values which should be in us and them, but teachers.
Yes, I agree with your point. And nowadays in the schools also, teachers are giving morning classes, and this helps them. And these incidents are now a bit less, and this is going to play a role in betterment of everything.
Okay, now let me ask you some questions. How important it is to maintain peace and brotherhood? Let us discuss over it. How important it is?
I think it's just one of the most important values which one should have in his life, because that's just the feeling that it even encourages the feeling of team spirit, and these are helpful to us not only at the kid stage, but it are helpful in the adulthood when we just work with the other ones.
So if these habits are moral values are inculcated from the very beginning, then they will stay for this field. Okay, what if the students not mend their ways? You have told them to not to fight and all that. If they don't mend their ways, they don't want to improve, then what will you do?
Rules and regulations are there in the schools, and strict action are taken against all the students. And slowly, I really feel that improvement will be there. And we have really noticed that nowadays these things are increasing, and this is all because of the rules and regulations that are made in the school, and discipline is a must. So no compromise with that.
Okay. Then another thing is that you were saying about that PTIs are there, sports ICs and so what is their role in just curbing out this problem? Is there should to stop such kind of things?
See, they are the one in our school who knew about the rules and regulation much than the other teachers would know. So they are even strict, so they can handle the students first with the care, and if they don't, then.
Is there any other way of this? Is there any other solution of this problem?
Yes, I think so that students themselves can resolve their problem by sitting in groups and discussing whatever they feel. And we know that fighting is not a solution. We can start the fight, but stopping it is not in our hands. It's in the hands of others. So we must ignore it because prevention is better than cure.
So we should always try to solve the problem. Okay, very nice. Thank you, Madhu and